न चलता गुरुजी
no
केकरदा गुरुजी
शुक्लां भरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः अपारकरुणासिन्धुं ज्ञानदं शान्तरूपिणं श्रीचन्द्रशेखरगुरुं प्रणमामि मुदान्वहं सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचानूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः नमः शिवाय इति शिवं प्रपद्ये शिवप्रसीद इति शिवं प्रपद्ये शिवात् परम् अपरं न इति शिवं प्रपद्ये शिवोमहस्मि इति शिवं प्रपद्ये
first and for last aprom prathama adhyaya up to 43rd
ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीमष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्ख्यपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततत्कदेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुः सुरासुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः अस्तु नामे सदा अर्जुन उवाच अर्जुन विषादयोगः धृतराष्ट्र उवाच धर्मक्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे समवेतायुयुत्सवः मामकाः पाण्डवाश्चैव किमकुर्वत सञ्चय
सञ्चय उवाच दृष्ट्वा तु पाण्डवानेकं व्यूढं दुर्योधनस्तथा आचार्यम् उपसंगम्य राजा वचनमब्रवीत्
எல்லாரும் ரெண்டு ரெண்டு சொல்லலாமா ஒன்னு சொல்லலாமா சார்
சொல்லுங்க எப்படி சௌரியமோ அப்படி சொல்லிக்கோங்க
மொத்தமே 4 பேர் தான் இருக்கும் ரெண்டு ரெண்டு சொல்லலாமா சார்
சரி சரி
ஒன்னொரு சொல்லிட்டுமா पश्येदं पाण्डुपुत्राणाम् आचार्यं महदीं चमूं यूढां द्रुपदपुत्रेण तव शिष्येन धीमता
समायुधिनो विराट्यस्य महारथः दृष्टकेतुस्तेकिदानः अतिराजस्य वीर्यवान् पुंसकोशस्य
शैत्यस्य नरपुस्तवः
புவனாஜி உங்களோட வாய்ஸ் ரொம்ப கம்மியா இருக்கு புவனாஜி உங்க வாய்ஸ் ரொம்ப கம்மியா இருக்கு கேட்க மாட்டேங்கிறது ஓகே
ரோட் பேசவே முடியல இன்ஃபெக்ஷன் ஆயிடுச்சு
யுதா மஞ்சுஷ்சந்திராந்த உத்தமௌஜாஸ்வீர்யவான் सौमदत्रादोपदेयाश्च सर्व एव महारथाः अस्माकं तु विशिष्टाये द्विजोत्तम नायका मम सैन्यस्य संज्ञाते
भवान् भीष्मश्च कर्णश्च कृपश्च समितिञ्जयः अश्वत्थामा विकर्णश्च सौमदित्तस्तथैव च अन्ये च बहवः शूराः मदर्थे त्यक्तजीविताः नानाशस्त्रप्रहरणाः सर्वे युद्धविशारदाः
अपर्याप्तं तदस्माकं बलं भीष्माभिरक्षितं पर्याप्तं द्विदमे तेषां बलं भीमाभिरक्षितम् अयनेषु च सर्वेषु यदा भागमवस्थिताः भीष्ममेवापि रक्षन्तु भवन्तः सर्व एव हि
तस्य सञ्जयन् हर्षं गुरुवृत्तपितामहः सिंहनादं विदैः सङ्गं प्रस्थापवान् ततस्सङ्गाश्वैर्यश्च वनवानकप्रमुखाः उत्सैप्राप्य हन्यन्त तुमुलोऽभवत्
ततश्चेतैर्हयैर्युक्ते महती स्यन्दने स्थितौ माधवः पाण्डवश्चैव दिव्यौ सङ्गौ प्रदत्मधुः पाञ्चजन्यं ऋषिकेशो देवदत्तं धनञ्जयः पौण्ड्रं दत्मौ महाशङ्कं भीमकर्मा विभोदरः
अनन्तविजयं राजा कुन्तीपुत्रो युधिष्ठिरः नकुलः सहदेवश्च सुघोषमणिपुष्पकौ काश्यश्च परमेश्वासः शिखण्डी च महारथः दृष्ट्रद्युम्नो विराटश्च सात्यकिश्चापराजितः
द्रुपदो द्रौपदेयाश्च सर्वस्य प्रतिभूपते सौभद्रस्य महाबाहुः सङ्गान्तत्मुगु पृथक् सघोषो दार्धराष्ट्राणां हृदयानि व्यधारयत् नभश्च पृथिवीं चैव तुमुलो व्यनुनादयन्
अदव्यवस्थितान् दृष्ट्वा दातराष्ट्रान् सविध्वजः प्रवृत्ते शस्त्रसम्घाते तनुरुच्यम्य पाण्डवः ऋषिकेशं सदा वाक्य इदमाहमधीपते अर्जुन उवाच सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये कथं स्थापयमेत्सुरः
यावदेतान् निरीक्षेऽहं योतु कामानवस्थितान् तैर्मया सह योद्धव्यम् अस्मिन् रणसमुद्यमे योत्स्यमानानवेक्षेऽहं येतेऽत्र समाखता दार्द्रराष्ट्रस्य दुर्बुद्धे युक्ते प्रियचिकीर्षवः
एवमुक्तो हृषीकेशो गुढाङ्केशेन भारत सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये स्थापयित्वा रथोत्तमम् भीष्मद्रोणप्रमुखतः सर्वेषां च महीक्षिताम् उवाच पार्थ पश्यैतान् समवेतान् कुरूनिति।
तत्रावश्य स्थितान् पार्थः पितॄनदपितामहान् आचार्यान् मातुलान् भ्रातॄन् पुत्रान् पौत्रान् सखींस्तथा स्वशुरान् सुहृदश्चैव सेनयोरुभयोरपि तान् समीक्ष्य स कौन्तेयः सर्वान् बन्धूनवस्थितान्।
कृपया परया विष्टो विषीदन्नितमब्रवीत्। अर्जुन उवाच दृष्ट्वेमं सजनं कृष्ण युद्धुं समुपस्थितम् ईदन्ति मम गात्राणि मुखं च परिशुष्यति वेपसुश्च शरीरे मे रोमहर्षश्च जायते।
शंसते हस्तात् वच्चैव परिदश्यते न च शक्नोमयवस्थातुं प्रमदीव च मे मनः निमित्तानि च पश्यामि विपरीतानि केशव न च श्रेयोनुपश्यामि हत्वा स्वजनमाहवे।
न काङ्क्षे विजयं कृष्ण न च राज्यं सुखानि च किं नो राज्येन गोविन्द किं भोगौ जीवितेन वा। येषामर्थे काङ्क्षितं नः राज्यं भोगाः सुखानि च त इमेव स्थिता युद्धे प्राणां त्यक्त्वा धनानि च।
आचार्यपितरः पुत्राः तदैव च पितामहाः मातुलात् स्वशुरः पौत्राः शालात् सम्बन्धिनस्तथा एतान् न कन्तुमिच्छामि क्रतोऽपि मधुसूदन अभित्रैलोक्यराज्यस्य खेदो किं नु मही कृते।
निहत्य धातराष्ट्रान् नखान् प्रीतिः स्यात् जनार्दन पापमेवाश्रये तस्मान् अद्वैतान् आततायिनः तस्मान्नार्हा वयं हन्तुं धातराष्ट्रान् स्वबान्धवान् वचनं हि कथं वा माधव।
यद्यप्येदेन पश्यन्ति लोको वहत चेतसः कुलक्षयकृतं दोषं मित्रद्रोहे च पातकं कदं न ज्ञेयमस्माभिः पापादस्मान् निवर्तितुं कुलक्षयकृतं दोषं प्रपश्यत्तिर्जनार्दन।
कुलक्षये प्रणश्यन्ति कुलधर्मा सनातनाः धर्मे नष्टे कुलं कृत्स्नम् अधर्मो अभिभवत्युत अधर्मा अभिभवात् कृष्ण प्रद्युष्यन्ति कुलस्त्रियः स्त्रीषु दुष्टासु वार्ष्णेर्य जायते वर्णसङ्करः।
शङ्करो नरकायैव कुलज्ञानां कुलस्य च वदन्ति पितरो ह्येषां लुप्तपिण्डोदकक्रियाः दोषैरेदैः कुलज्ञानां वर्णसङ्करकारकैः उत्सात्यन्ते जातिधर्माः कुलधर्माश्च शाश्वताः.
Okay, we were looking into that 43rd sloka only. Arjuna was justifying that it is not befitting to go ahead with this yuddham, as it has lot of consequences in terms of the destroying of the kula dharma, and also leading to varna shankara, and varna shankara leading to the dharma going down, the adharma coming up, which also would result in our own the pitras will not be able to get the required the shraddham and the tarpanadikal, hence there a lot also will suffer. And we as the Pandavas or knowingly then would not like to do this, would not like to be a cause for such a sequence of bad action. So that way the kula dharma, which are all being followed for sanatana for a long time, and also the jati dharma, all these things will cease to exist. So then further it continues with the 44th sloka. What would be the further consequences of that? Yarika delivery ke edavadhu sandeham iruka?
எனக்கு இல்ல சார்.
ஓகே, சரி. 44th நான் படிக்கிறேன், யாராவது ரெண்டு தினம் ரிப்பீட் பண்ணுங்க. உத்சன்ன குலதர்மானாம் மனுஷ்யானாம் ஜனார்தன நரகே நியதம் வாசஹ भवतीत्यनुशुश्रम उत्सन्न कुलधर्माणां मनुष्याणां जनार्दन नरके नियतं वासः भवतीत्यनुशुश्रुम.
उत्सन्न कुलधर्माणां मनुष्याणां जनार्दन नरके नियतं वासः भवतीत्यनुशुश्रुम.
So the anvayam, various type of anvayams are possible. Simple anvayam is Bhagavan is being addressed, He Janardana. Utsanna kuladharmanam manushyanam aniyatam narake vasaha bhavati iti anusushrama. So we have, all of us have heard anusushrama. What we have heard? Utsanna kaladharmanam manushyanam aniyatam narake vasaha bhavati iti anusushrama. The one who is responsible for the destruction of the kuladharma they will have to be in the Naraka for unlimited time. This is what we have heard from our Shastra. So that way, if we go ahead with the Mahabharata war, we will all, he include Krishna also into it. We will all will be in the Naraka for the infinite time. So now, so far before the 43rd sloka, Arjuna was talking about the drishtapalam of the doing the adharma war. That is what will happen in this bhumi, in this the dharma bhumi. Now then later he is talking about it. Even in Pitraloka, the Pitrus won't be able to get the pindam and the water, tarpana water, and hence they also will be suffering. Now he extends further. We as a persons responsible for the war, we also will end up in the living in Naraka. These are all the Pitralokam, the Narakalokam or other lokas are all not within our perception. We cannot see them directly now. For this, the source is only the Veda. Veda only talking about it, all these other lokas. How that various lokas will be there, who will go to what loka, and what enjoyment or what suffering they will have. So based on that, his information from the Veda, he is telling that we will all end up in the Naraka. And that means that is not a conducive thing at all. Ending up in Naraka is not a conducive thing. Earlier he was telling, even though Duryodhanas are all also know about this Mitra Doham, etc., they are not bothered about it. Maybe they are justifying that their stand is very correct because they have been ruling in the last 13 years, the 12 years the Vanavasa of the Pandava and 1 year in the incognito in the Virat district. So 13 years the Duryodhana was living as a king, and then that means he had the unlimited power, and having enjoyed the power, and normally what happens, one would not like to deprive of that. Even today we have a saying, power corrupts, absolute power corrupts absolutely. We hear here also. So when somebody gets the power and nobody is there to challenge them, they might do all the adharmic activities. Then Duryodhana, being an adharmic person, he may not bother about what is the consequence of this war. Whether we are going to Naraka, etc., he is not bothered. His immediate thing is, I want to enjoy. That is his motive. Duryodhana's motive is one of selfish. So he is not bothered about the consequence of going to Naraka, etc. Let me enjoy as long as I have the power. So he may be justifying that. Whereas we are all, as a Pandava, are all law-abiding people, and also we are following the Vedic dharma. So hence we should not get into perpetuate this war further. This is what Arjuna is talking about it. You should be able to read in between line to understand the difference between how Duryodhana is looking at it, how Arjuna is looking at it. Duryodhana is looking at it as a selfish motive. For his own selfishness, he is doing the war. Okay? So in fact, he will be the primarily responsible for the consequences of what happens in the war. Whereas Pandavas are not primarily responsible for the war. Why?
They fight for dharma.
That is okay. Even otherwise,
avadane affected. They are not.
அவதானே அந்த தேசத்தை விட்டு அவளை துரத்திட்டா இல்லையா?
அதெல்லாம் இருக்கட்டும், அதெல்லாம் இருக்கட்டும். பட் பிரைமரிலி என்ன அர்த்தம் என்னன்னாக்கா, if Pandavas wanted to avoid the war, they wanted to reconciliation with Duryodhana. They even tried various methods, like what we adopt, the Sama, Veda, Dhana, Dandam. Dandam or punishment as a final alternative only. Okay? So the reconciliation they tried. Even Bhagavan Krishna himself went as a messenger, carrying what we can come to a compromise. But what Duryodhana said to Krishna,
pinchil land kuda na kudukka mudiyadha avalukku.
So iva vandu they even prepared to get one house with 5 rooms. It's enough. Even if you give that, we will not come for this thing. But even that he was not prepared to accept it. I will not give even a single ஒரு பின்னு குத்துற இடம் கூட உனக்கு கொடுக்க மாட்டேன். If you want, you fight it and get it. அப்போ then it becomes impossible for Pandava to come to any reconciliation. So only way is to wage the war. Even there, the waging of the war is not for regaining the Rajyam. That was not their idea at all. Because they were prepared to get only one single house with 5 rooms is enough for them. They said, okay. That means that getting Rajyam is not their primary thing. Their aim was that as a Kshatriya, all of them, they got a responsibility to protect the common people who should have a system in the country whereby everybody will be able to live peacefully. That means the dharma should prevail in the country. How dharma will prevail? Only when we protect those who are following dharma. Yar dharmi naka, who follows dharma. Okay? So dharmi is a protect mannaka, dharma will always get protected. Correct? Because dharma garade, it is an abstract thing. Kannala kadala paaka mudiyade. That is why the Sanatana dharma, it is a way of living. Okay? So that way this dharma is to be protected, means those who are following dharma, they should be protected. So it is the common people who follow the dharma. So we have to give protection to them. And already Duryodhana proved that he is not befitting enough to protect the dharmis, because he himself is a adharmic person. He may not look at it as a dharma, as a value. He also doesn't have that type of mental makeup. Once it was asked to pointedly to Duryodhana, okay, why are you indulging in these adharmic activities? His own reply, as recorded in the Mahabharata by Vyasa, is, I know dharma, but I am not able to follow. I also know what is adharma, but I am unable to refrain from that. This is the psychology on the part of Duryodhana. The psychology is stemming from the fact that as a child he had been neglected by his own parents. He didn't have any recourse if he had any problem which will be addressed by the parents. Because Dhritarashtra, as a blind king, he is not able to advise them. At least if Gandhari could have given the required assistance to them, but she also, in the name of Pativrata, she also deliberately blinded her eye. On the face of it, it looks as though she did a very big sacrifice, but really, from the standpoint of a mother, for giving the required nourishment for the food as well as the nourishment of dharma, she failed in her duty. That is the built-up anger, built-up this thing. I am an unwanted boy. This is the child psychology. This psychology we can. Sorry.
அவர் மட்டும் அன்வான்டட் கிடையாது இல்லையா, மத்த 100 பேர் இருப்பா இல்லையா, அதாவது 99 பேர் இருக்காங்க, எல்லாருக்கும் அதே மாதிரி தான் ஃபீலிங் தான் இருக்கு.
எல்லாருக்கும் all 100 people were neglected.
So வந்து on behalf of all the brothers அவர் வந்து சொல்றான்ற மாதிரி அப்படியா தான் எல்லாருக்கும் சேர்த்து ஒரே புத்தி தான் இருக்கு எல்லாருக்கும்.
On behalf of others, whether he is telling or not, we don't know. On the context, but on the particular thing, this is what is reply. On the reply which we are extending, what would have been the background which made him to say that? We try to understand that, like that, with respect to every individual in the Mahabharata, how the character is portrayed by Vyasa gives the psychology of every individual. It basically conveys that every individual has good points, has certain bad points. In the sense, bad in the sense which is not conducive for everything. So all we have to learn from the Mahabharata is to emulate what are the good qualities of the person. Whether it is Bhishma, Drona, Vikarna, Karna, whatever it may be, everybody has got certain good qualities. Karnanuku appuram kodaye kadayadungiradha is the word. So that much of a kodai vallalam, but anyhow circumstances made him to join Duryodhana. Then his dedication to Duryodhana has all along the same. Even though Karna knows Duryodhana is not absolutely correct, but he is indebted to them. Solluva illaya? Enna solluva?
செஞ்சோற்று கடன்.
செஞ்சோற்று கடன். So adinala that way he was taking, but that's a good point on the point of Duryodhana. He was taking care of the people who was helping him. That's a good point of Duryodhana. We cannot condemn Duryodhana also totally. Okay. Similarly, Bhishma is very good. Of course, he did the maximum sacrifice. Otherwise, he is the original prince for this particular clan. But he said he took a pratigna. He will not be the contender for the prince, neither now nor later. Okay, and this thing will be to protect the Hastinapur throne. That is this thing. Not even he didn't say I will protect the Hastinapur Raja. That is not the thing. I will protect the Hastinapur throne. But there is a difference between that. So that made him to stick to his dharma, sticks to the dharma of taken the pratigna of vow. So to not to compromise his vow is what is the plus point on the point of Bhishma. That's not a simple thing. நம்மளாம் வந்து காலத்தில் யாருக்காவது ஏதாவது சொல்லியிருப்போம், சரி நீ வா நான் பார்த்துக்கிறேன், ஐ வில் ஹெல்ப் யூன்னு. அப்புறம் another circumstances என்ன ஆகுது, something we are not able to do. அப்படியா இல்லை, இப்போ என்னால் முடியாதுப்பா, நம்ம அன்னைக்கு வாக்கு கொடுத்தத we don't value it. But that is only simple walk. But what Bhishma gave was a big thing. So at any cost he protected. As I said last class or previous class, Sharada also was like that. Sharada gave a walk to Kaikeyi. He could have said nobody was there to witness. When that happened, only Dasharada and Kaikeyi were there in the Ratha. Okay, and nobody heard also had seen. But he had promised her. But then when Kaikeyi want to make use of that Vara boon, then the Dasarada was unable to. He is unable to say no, I will not. That is the okay. Slightly digressed. So those type of values, lot of them are there in the Mahabharata. Okay, we all will be able to appreciate the Mahabharata original after we study that the Bhagavad Gita is over and we understand the essence of Mahabharata as myself or knowing our own Atma Swarupam. Then if we study the Mahabharata, it will be more relevant to us. We will be able to not only enjoy, we will be able to understand the whole Tatparya, whole character of every individual there. Anyhow, similarly, Arjuna also is given to dharma. He is a person of core dharma. Okay, there is an instant, நான் சொல்லியிருக்கேன் நினைக்கிறேன், where he was forced to compromise on a lower dharma but to protect a higher dharma. இங்க வந்து ஆப்போசிட்டா இருக்கு. Now here in the battlefield, the higher dharma is to follow the kshatriya dharma on the part of Arjuna. Lower dharma are the varna, ashrama, kula dharma. Then he all along in this sloka he justified the kula dharma and all are very important, forgetting temporarily is ashrama, is a varna dharma as a kshatriya. Okay. but the opposite of us was happening. See, when these Pandavas were earlier, Pandavas was given a God-forsaken place, and then they told you have your own Rajyam over there. You need not compete for the Hastinapur. Okay? Then you have your own Rajyam, you be there. Epo, theriyuma?
புரியல.
கதை ஞாபகம் தெரியுமா உங்களுக்கு?
நீங்க கேக்குறது புரியல. என்ன சார் சொல்லுங்க?
நீங்க சொல்றது அது டக்குன்னு தெரியல குருஜி.
இதுக்கு முன்னால ஒரு இன்சிடென்ட்ல இந்த மாதிரி ராஜ்யம் both Dharmaputra as well as Duryodhana are both equally competent for this Hastinapur throne. அப்படிங்கிற சிச்சுவேஷன் வர சமயத்துல Duryodhana was not even prepared to compromise anything on that. Okay, then the Shakuni and other people, through some mediator, they want to come to a reconciliation because Dharmaputra wanted to avoid conflict in the family. Appo enna panna, then they gave a place outside of the Hastinapur, and it is a barren land. நீங்க அதை எடுத்துட்டு you manage, you be there. Then they had to convert that whole barren land into a new place at all. That is called Indraprastha. ஞாபகம் இருக்கோ? That Indraprastha is today's Delhi. Today's Delhi, part of Delhi is the Indraprastha. So on the Indraprastha, through the Mayan Gravanda is a Vishwakarma. He is a divine person, architect. In today's context, like an architect. Mayan is an architect, divine architect. Then he was given the assignment to convert the whole place into Indraprastha. Adukapram the Indraprastha vandadukapram, then it was declared that they have to conduct the Rajasuya Yajna. Rajasuya Yajna will have to be done to declare that the Dharmaputra is the Chakravarti. Okay, that means what? They have to declare to everybody that the Dharmaputra is going to be the Chakravarti. All Rajas, the smaller kingdom which are all there, whoever agrees with that, they let them give their consent. Then as per the Rajaniti, all those, the smaller king, they have to pay the tax like thing to the Chakravarti. That way the revenue for the Chakravarti will come. Those who are not prepared to accept the Dharmaputra as a Chakravarti, then if they are challenging, then they have to be either brought into their fold or they have to win over them by war or whatever it may be. That was the thing. So that was going on, all those things. Then most of the Rajas, knowing the magnanimity and the befitting of Dharmaputra, all of them have agreed. Then the Rajasuya Yajna was declared. Rajasuya Yajna is not a simple thing. It has got tremendous expenses involved, and for which you need to do a big yajna. The Rajasuya Yajna is a big yajna, for which so much of the milk, ghee and all required. if all those is required, then the cows from the various Rajya all ought to be brought to the Indraprastha, okay, for that typing. So all these Rajas are also agreed, okay, we will temporarily give our this thing and all. But okay, I had to make it short because the father is saying, but there were impediments. Saguni has got is very the Nagaraja or Dakshan is the Saguni's best friend. So he made the Dakshan to understand, you somehow send your all the Nagas and then try to drive away the cows which are all coming to the Indraprastha. So then it came to know. Bhima was the one first who came to know about it. Then Bhima told Arjuna, this is what is happening. I don't know what should happen. We have to do something. Then Arjuna said, okay, then I will see to it that the snakes or the daksha comes under our control. Okay, then immediately I go and then fight with him or come to him, make him understand our this thing. So then he wanted to take his Gandiva. Okay, then the Gandiva was there in the room where the Dharmaputra and the Panchali were there. There, among the five people, the understanding is, if turn by turn only they can use the room, and the other should not get into the room. It is a sort of a understanding. It's a like I said, Vak Kurtachi. This is what our understanding. Nobody will interfere. The same. Then what happened? Then Arjuna has to get the Gandiva. So then he told Bhima, okay, I will go and get it. Then Bhima said, no, you cannot go. The Dharmaputra and Panchali is there. You cannot go. Then you will be violating our rule. Then what is the consequences of the rule? He asked Bhima. Bhima told him, then you will get the papa of breaking this dharma, the word that you have given. Okay, I don't mind, because here more important is that Rajasuya Yajna should be conducted. That's got a bigger consequences, and hence Dharmaputra should become the Chakravarti. So the goal is to make Dharmaputra as a Chakravarti. So toward that, this violating the small dharma doesn't matter, and whatever the punishment is there, I will impose myself 1 year away from the Rajyam. I will go into this thing. That is a punishment I myself put on me. Then he goes out, takes, and then he puts some things under control. And after this Indraprastha was this thing, and he became a Chakravarti, then as per this thing, he went away. During that time only, he went and fought with Shiva and got the Pashupata Astram. All those things, those are all part of this thing. So here, what was the thing? For a higher goal, a higher dharma, a smaller dharma was compromised. And then the compromise which involved a papa, the prayatrixam was done by him. So that way, Arjuna is a very highly dharmic person. In fact, that is why the Gita-upadesham was given to him. That is why Krishna knows about it. Krishna prepared to be the Sharadi, Partha Sharadi for him. For Partha, he is prepared to be the Sharadi. Okay, so what I am trying to say is even that Arjuna knows, but then here during the war, because of the karuna, that was the starting point. Karuna for his own clan, his own dear friends, his own relative, he doesn't want to kill, and hence he looked at it. Killing them will end up in all the consequences he was talking about it, and we will forgetting that the establishing dharma in the society is a prime concern. Temporarily, that means his karuna is overpowered that higher dharma. Temporarily. Anyhow, he come to the reconciliation quickly. That we will see later. So that type of dharmic person is Arjuna. Not only that, see, நமக்கு வந்து ஒரு 1.5 hours 2 hours ஒரு வேதாந்திக் கிளாஸ்ல உட்கார்னாக்கா our attention of the mind all the 1.5 hours இருக்கிறதுக்கு சான்ஸே இல்லை for normal ordinary person. Okay, where we are given all the comforts within the home, and today technology are available. Okay, irundha edathileye computer vechindi class going on. We don't have to travel anywhere. If it is kulira irundhanaka heater போட்டுக்கலாம், ரொம்ப சூடா இருந்தா ஏர் கண்டிஷனர் போட்டுக்கலாம், நடுவில் காஃபி வேணா காஃபி குடிச்சிக்கலாம், எல்லாமே பண்ணலாம். இவ்வளோ இருந்துட்டும் நம்மளோட அட்டென்ஷன் மைண்ட் அட்டென்ஷன் இஸ் so limited. Think of him in the battlefield. He heard 700 sloka which will last for 2.5 hours, and he understood everything very clearly. Is it possible? அவனுக்கு அவ்வளோ மைண்ட் அட்டென்ஷன் இருக்கு, அதுக்கும் கதையில இருக்கு. எப்படி அவன் வந்து அந்த நிழலை பார்த்து அந்த மீனோட கண்ணுல வந்து அம்ப செலுத்தினா அப்படிங்கிறது, அதெல்லாம் அவ்வளோ கான்சென்ட்ரேஷன். கிருஷ்ணர் கேட்கிறார், ஏ அர்ஜுனா, ஆர் யூ சீயிங் த ஃபிஷ் அப்படிங்கிறார். என்ன சொல்றான், நோ ஐ டோன்ட் see the fish at all, I am seeing only the eye அப்படிங்கிறான். அப்படிப்பட்ட இது. So Radhika has asked too many times, why only to Arjuna Krishna is doing the Upadesam. There are a lot of incidents are like that. So anyhow, those are all part of this thing. Sometimes I get carried away by certain things, but irundhalum these are all conveys the how dharma is important, how in these days we need to follow that also. The main important, and for following dharma, இன்னைக்கு அந்த வர்ணாசிரம தர்மா இல்லைனாலும் we have a chance to follow that by following the karma yoga. That is the central scheme of the whole Bhagavad Gita. Okay, fine. Any doubt for anybody? Okay, so let me go to the next one, 45th sloka. Somebody else can repeat it 2 times. Aho batamahat papam,
aho batamahat papam, aho.
One more time, children.
Aho batamahat papam, aho batamahat papam,
kartum vyavasita vayam,
कर्तुं व्यवसिता वयं, कर्तुं व्यवसिता वयं,
यद्राज्यसुखलोभेन,
यद्राज्यसुखलोभेन, यद्राज्यसुखलोभेन,
हन्तुं स्वजनमुद्यता,
हन्तुं स्वजनमुद्यताः, हन्तुं स्वजनमुद्यताः
अहो बदमहत्पापं कर्तुं व्यवसिता वयं यद्राज्यसुखलोभेन हन्तुं स्वजनमुद्यताः
अहो बत महत्पापं कर्तुं व्यवसिता वयं यद्राज्यसुखलोभेन हन्तुं स्वजनमुद्यताः अहो बत महत्पापं कर्तुं व्यवसिता वयं यद्राज्यसुखलोभेन हन्तुं स्वजनमुद्यताः.
Okay. The Anvayam will be Aho Bhada Vayam Mahat Papam Kartum Vyavasitaha Yat Rajya Sukhalobena Swajanam Hantum Udyataha. Two separate sentences are there. The Aho Bhada is an idiomatic usage. The Tamil சொல்றானக்கா or English சொல்றானக்கா what a tragedy அப்படினு lament பண்ற மாதிரி what a tragedy அப்படிங்கற மாதிரி அஹோ பத வயம். So he includes everybody. வயம்ங்கற சமயத்துல whole Pandava army including Krishna also is the thing. Vayam normal ellorum mahat papam kartum vyavasitaha. Meaning clear? We are about to do a great papa. About to do. About to do in what way? By doing this war. Because of the whole reason he has given. By that war, so many people are going to be killed and all those things. So, okay, Vayam Mahat Papam Kartum Vyavasitaha Yat Rajya Sukhalobena Swajanam Hantum Udyataha. By the Lobana in a greed. By the greed of gaining the Rajya, we were to kill our own people. அவனுக்கு தெரியும் சொல்லி தர்மத்தை நிலைநாட்டுறதுக்காக வந்திருக்கோன்னு, பட் இங்க கொஞ்சம் மனசு மாறெடுத்து தென் ராஜ்ய சுகலோபேன ராஜ்யமும் அதனால வரக்கூடிய சுகமும் நமக்கு வேணும் அப்படிங்கிற கிரீடுனால we were about to kill our own swajana, our own people. By that we have about to do a great papa. பாபமா இல்லையா? இல்லையா? எப்படி
பாபம்? நம்ம ஜனங்களையே நம்ம கொல்றது பாபம். ஆனா இது தர்மத்தை அனுஷ்டிக்கணும், தர்மத்தை காப்பாற்றணுங்கிறதுனால இது பாபம் இல்லை.
ஓகே, அதுக்கு என்ன எக்ஸாம்பிள் பார்த்தோம் முன்னாடி? ஒரு பெரிய தர்மத்தை நிலைநாட்டுறதுக்கு ஒரு சிறிய தர்மத்தை காம்ப்ரமைஸ் பண்ணலாம். வேத தர்மா இஸ் இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். வேத தர்மாவை ப்ரொடெக்ட் பண்றதுக்கு குல தர்மாவை இஃப் இட் ரிக்வயர்ட் we can compromise. We can compromise ஆச்சார அனுஷ்டானம் to protect Veda Dharma, not otherwise. ஆச்சாரம் அனுஷ்டானம் என்னால் இஸ் கம்மிங் அண்டர் த குல தர்மா இல்லையோ? என்னது ஆச்சாரம் அனுஷ்டானம்ங்கிறது? என்னது சொல்லுங்க, எக்ஸாம்பிள் சொல்லுங்க.
டே டு டே லைஃப்ல நம்ம என்ன பண்றோமோ அத தர்மத்தினோட அடிப்படையில பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கோம்.
இல்ல இல்ல இல்ல, நான் ஸ்பெசிபிக்கா கேக்குறேன். இன்னைக்கு வந்து ஆத்துல பண்ற ஆச்சாரம் அனுஷ்டானங்கள் என்னது?
இந்த தர்ப்பணங்கள் பித்ருக்களுக்கு தர்ப்பணங்கள் பண்றது
அதெல்லாம் ஆச்சாரம் அனுஷ்டானம் இல்ல. பித்ருக்கெல்லாம் தர்ப்பணம் பண்றது இஸ் a வேத கர்மா. தட் இஸ் நாட் ஆச்சாரம்.
சந்தியாவந்தனம் பண்றது
அதுவும் கிடையாது. அதுவும் வேதம் விகிதம்.
ஆச்சாரங்கள் வந்து நம்ம மடி வணக்கிறது, குளிக்கிறது, நம்ம குளிச்சுட்டு வந்து நைவேத்தியத்துக்கு வைக்கிறது, அதெல்லாம் தான் ஆச்சாரம்.
அதெல்லாம் தான் ஆச்சாரம்.
வந்து ஒவ்வொரு இதுக்கும் நம்ம இந்த பண்டிகையை வந்து இந்த விதமா தான் நாங்க பண்றோம், அது வந்து எங்காத்து வழக்கம் இது அப்படின்னு சொல்றதெல்லாம் வந்து குல ஆச்சாரமா நம்ம வச்சுக்கணும்.
அதுல small things are there that ஆச்சாரங்கள் came into picture with respect to that time. இப்போ வந்து some of the ஆச்சாரம் அனுஷ்டானங்கள் need not be followed. That's not going to make any difference. பட் ஆச்சார அனுஷ்டானங்களை அவ்வளவுதான் பார்த்துட்டு வைதிக தர்மத்தை பண்ணலனாக்கா அதை விட இது ஒண்ணும் இல்லையா? அதனால்தான் முதல்ல அந்த 41 சம்ஸ்காரங்கள் சொன்னேன். அதெல்லாம் டு பி டன். அதுல ஒண்ணு கூட பண்ணாம ஆச்சார அனுஷ்டானம் தான் இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். நான் வந்து எச்சத்தை இன்னைக்கும் எச்ச தேய்ச்சிட்டு இருப்பேன். ஓகே, ஆர் நான் வந்து மடியா தான் இருப்பேன், போய் பெட்டில் போய் உட்கார மாட்டேன். ஓகே, இதெல்லாம் வந்து இந்த காலத்துல வந்து ஈவன் இன் அபார்ட்மெண்ட்ல எல்லாம் எவ்வளவு தூரம் பார்க்க முடியும்? பார்க்க முடியுங்கிறது முடியாங்கிறது ஒண்ணு. இன்னொன்னு பார்க்க வேண்டிய அவசியம் இல்லைங்கிறது இன்னொன்னு. ஏன்னா போன காலத்திலே சொன்னேன், அந்த காலத்துல இருந்து தரையில உட்காந்து சாப்பிட்டானாக்கா இட் இஸ் அ மண் தரை. அதுக்கு வேண்டி சில இதெல்லாம் பண்ண வேண்டி இருக்கும். ஓகே, ஸோ அப்போ தேவர் ஃபாலோயிங். ஓகே, அண்ட் வாட் நார்மலி இப்போ பழைய காலத்துல எல்லாம் எப்படி தரை இருந்தது? சாணம் போட்டு தான் முழுகுவா ஃபுல்லா. எப்படி வாசல்ல முழுகிற மாதிரியோ வீடா இருக்கு, அப்படிதான் இருக்கு. காங்கிரீட் கூட கிடையாது. அப்போ அந்த சாணம் இஸ் a disinfectant. That is what the best disinfectant at that time. So they were making use of it. Inniki when there is a ceramic floor or when there is the granite floor, it is not required because the floor, the surface of the things are all very very smooth. இன்னும் எச்சில் ஒன்றும் கீழே படவே தெரியாது, சும்மா தண்ணியால தொடச்சா போறோம். கரெக்ட். ஸோ பட் அதை இன்னைக்கும் பண்ணுவேன்னு சொல்லிட்டு இந்த 41 சம்ஸ்காரில் ஒரு சம்ஸ்காரம் கூட பண்ணாம இருந்தானக்கா அசட்டுத்தனம் தானே. That's what I'm telling. Anyhow, that's beside the point. One has to understand about it. that's சொல்ல வந்தேன். அதனால இங்கேயும் இவன் வந்து அர்ஜுனா வந்து because of the karuna he doesn't want to kill people and then is justifying his stand about it. So and then in that justification process he thinks that all Pandavas are interested only to regain the Rajya and they want to enjoy the sukham of coming out of the Rajyam, and hence because of that we have become greedy. Adinala what he want to say is I don't want to embark upon the yuddha. Anyhow, further we will see next class. Okay, and finally he stopped this thing and then tell Arjuna, I don't want to go ahead with the war, he says. But then after Krishna convinces him. Those are all coming to well in the second chapter. Okay. So, is there a question again? சரி, அந்த காலத்துல எல்லாம் தனி வீடா இருந்து எல்லாம் தனித்தனியா இருந்து கிணறு எல்லாம் இருந்த சமயத்துல so many things ஆச்சார அனுஷ்டானங்கள்லாம் ஃபாலோ பண்ண முடிஞ்சது. தட் இஸ் another thing. லேடிஸ் ஆத்துல இல்லைன்னாக்கா ஆத்துக்குள்ளேயே வரக்கூடாது இல்லையா, அவளுக்குன்னே தனியா ரூம் எல்லாம் வச்சிருந்தா. That is because ஆத்துல invariably every house will have பஞ்சாயதன பூஜை, சிவ பஞ்சாயதன பூஜையோ விஷ்ணு பஞ்சாயதன பூஜையோ ஏதாவது அந்த மாதிரி பூஜையெல்லாம் இருக்கிற சமயத்துல certain sanctity of the place is to be maintained. இப்போ கோவிலுக்கெல்லாம் வெளியில இருந்தானாக்கா போகக்கூடாது இல்லையா, அதே மாதிரி ஆத்திரையும் பூஜையில அந்த மாதிரி ஆச்சார அனுஷ்டானங்களோட பூஜை இருக்கிற சமயத்துல இட் இஸ் நாட் to belittle the ladies that was followed. That's not an idea. That definitely எல்லாம் இந்த காலத்துல எல்லாம் தப்பா புரிஞ்சுட்டு இருக்கா. ஓகே, பட் இப்போ வந்து அகெயின் பிளாட் சிஸ்டத்துல எப்படி அதெல்லாம் ஃபாலோ பண்ண முடியும்? இம்பாசிபிள் இல்லையா? And especially
ரூம் இருக்காது குருஜி, அதை வந்து ஒரு ஷெல்ஃப்ல சுவாமி எல்லாம் போட்டு வச்சு அதை ஒரு சின்னதா போட்டு மூடி அப்படிதானே இருக்க முடியும் இல்லையா?
அதான் காம்ப்ரமைஸ். we have to, that is a compromise only. மூடி வச்சுட்டானுங்க பகவான் பார்க்காம இருப்பாரா?
இல்ல அப்படி சொல்லல குருஜி, பூஜை ரூம்னு ஒரு உமாச்சி உள்ளன்னு தனியா வந்து இந்த பிளாட்ல எல்லாம் நம்ம இருக்கிறது கஷ்டமாச்சு. நீங்க சொல்ற மாதிரி இண்டிபெண்டன்ட் ஹவுஸா இருந்தா ஒரு உள்ள வச்சுக்கலாம்.
ஆச்சார அனுஷ்டானங்கள் சில பேர்லாம் ரொம்ப விகரஸா ஃபாலோ பண்ணிருந்தா, பட் they were not following the Vedic dharma. 40 சம்ஸ்காரங்களும் ஒண்ணு கூட பண்ணாம இந்த மாதிரி ட்ரிவியல் திங்ஸ் எல்லாம் இம்பார்ட்டன்ட்ங்கிற சமயத்துல தி லோவர் தர்மாக்கு இம்பார்ட்டன்ஸ் கொடுத்து ஹையர் தர்மாவை காம்ப்ரமைஸ் பண்றதா. rather follow the bigger dharma. If it is required, if it circumstances needs, you can compromise the lower dharma. Anyhow, by karma yoga method of living, even that is of no consequence. We will be seeing later. சரி, சரி, வேற ஏதாவது கொஸ்டின் இருந்தா கேளுங்க, அல்லனா முடிச்சிருங்க.
முடிச்சிடலாமாஜி? दुर्जन सज्जनो भूयात् सज्जन शान्तिमाप्नुयात् शान्तो मुच्येव बन्धेभ्यो मुक्तचान्यान् विमोचयेत्. ॐ पूर्णमतः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्य परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महीषाः भोद्रामणेभ्यः सुखमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु. श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः.
Okay, thank you all.